So welcome everybody. Welcome to the Tabitha show today. I'm going to put Tabitha on the spot because she prepared a long list of questions for one of our counselors on the program that works with men struggling with porn and sex addiction. So they had like 50 questions. I don't know how many, 85, 72. I don't know how many questions. They only got to 3 questions. But I wanted to welcome all of you to the Tabitha show because I would want to hear what it is that she learned, that she thought was most valuable to all the ladies who attended the group. We had about 30 women in attendance. It was really phenomenal, super exciting stuff. We also decided that we'll be doing more of these big question and answer sessions with the ladies just to help everybody navigate. So everybody, if you'd please put your hands together for Tabitha. Woo!
Thank you, Kenneth. Morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. What a privilege always to work alongside Kenneth and the Grace Online team. Phenomenal people. And this morning we had Thomas join us, a brave young soul who was willing to come onto a platform with 30 women with burning questions of... Sorry, Kenneth?
It's the red beard that he's got that made him so brave.
Yes, and that gave him the extra strength. I think that sets him apart, right? I'm sure all the redheads out there will be starting to follow Thomas after his bravery today. But yeah, what a phenomenal session, and super thankful to Thomas for putting himself out there, also being a recovering, addict, and being able to speak from his own life and the power that holds. At one stage he even said, I was homeless. I'd made the decision to go onto the streets because I saw how devastating my addiction was to my family. And he has phenomenal parents, phenomenal family who rallied behind him when he decided, I have had enough and I want to change my life around. And just what a powerful story, Kenneth. But yes, for the ladies this morning, I think it was just he was just so raw and so real, giving it to them from a man's perspective. And I think that sometimes that is so needed, because I think sometimes the perspective is, does my husband or does my partner really want to work this recovery? I don't see the results, I don't see the change. And I think one of the big things that we spoke about this morning is that when people come to you or anyone else on your team, Kenneth, and they give their husbands to you, they think they're going to be changing the personality, the person, right? But the pornography is just add on to some things that were already cooking and brewing inside of that marriage, right? And we're sort of hoping that we're going to hand him into you and he's going to come out an upgraded, better, shiny version, right? And that's not what the program is about. The program is there to challenge behavior and to challenge our partners and husbands to say, come on, be the best version of yourself. Be the man that God intended you to be. You can rise above these things that you were taught and that you have brought into your life, And often, I think one of the things I said in our session this morning was ladies are like, is he going to help me around the house now? Is he going to do the kids' school runs? And I'm like, that's not a porn issue, that's a relationship issue, And that's why, I'm so excited, when we get to those things, because obviously dealing with the porn is a very big aspect, the intimacy and who they are and how they identify themselves. But then we have this amazing couple, Michelle and Kevin, who are able to bridge these two roads of recovery and rejoin these marriages and say, let's also get into the little bit of the dirty laundry that existed before we knew there was a porn issue, because he also didn't do the school run before you knew he was a porn addict, right? But it's sort of like they dump all of these things at your doorstep and they're like, okay, Kenneth, fix this guy. I want a new version, And I just think you and Thomas so beautifully said it this morning. It's so important that each person works on their own recovery, the ladies in the Women of Worth, that they work on who they are and who they want to be and rediscover who they are. And you work with their husbands to, understand, why did this addiction come into my life and how do I make it better? And then ultimately to join these two roads together to restore marriages, because that is our heart. It's not always possible, unfortunately, and that we advocate because safety comes first always. But yeah, it was so reassuring for me this morning just to let the ladies know that, because one of the questions were, what do they speak about on those battle stations, Kenneth? What are they complaining about us on there? It's that burning desire. Like, what is my husband saying, And it was so nice that Thomas was just like, what, ladies, like on the battle station, these guys are just have this desire to want to work through their issues, and they want to be better versions of themselves. And I think maybe, the mic drop wasn't as dramatic as us ladies would have liked to have known, but it was just so reassuring for me that these husbands that have chosen to fight this battle is that it's, what, I want to be better. I want to rise above this. I want to be a great father. I want to be a great husband. And I think the last thing I want to say, because, I always have a lot to say, Kenneth, before you jump in, was one of the things that Thomas said, that a lot of the things that the men do express on the groups is that because I have this addiction now, my wife takes away all my other authority in the home. I can't discipline my kids. I don't have authority over decision making. And I think that those two things are so hard to separate, right? Because the wife is like, you've broken our home down, you're not playing your role, so you can't do this and you can't do that. And that's what Thomas said for a lot of the men was a very hard pill to swallow, that, because I've done this, I know it's not right. I know that I have to work back the trust and win back my wife. But now I also don't have any other say over my children, over, decision making that we have in our homes. And I think that that's where the codependency or the prodependency that we deal with so often in our courses with Bev, who's been on these podcasts with us, and a phenomenal woman with great wealth, is able to help and empower our ladies to say, what, control is not going to be the answer, and I think that was the three things that stood out for me this morning, and just so grateful that you and I were able to navigate that this morning and give these ladies hope, in their husband's recovery. So yeah, thank you for that, Kenneth. It's just amazing.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Tabitha. So if anybody is out there, if you are a lady and you are suffering from betrayal trauma or the abuse of your husband, well, emotional abuse or even physical abuse, I'm sure, but sexual abuse, if your husband's busy doing pornography, I believe that watching porn is abusive, and you need help and you need support, please do reach out to us or reach out to someone outside there, and find help for yourself so that you can also learn and grow and use this opportunity to turn to create beauty from ashes, and to allow God to really work all things together for good to those who love him. If you love God and you are suffering this thing, please do reach out to us. We're here to help. We love people, and we love doing this thing full time. Thanks, everyone. Hope you have a fantastic day. Thanks, Tabitha. All the best with all of your challenges. We'll see each other again soon. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.